It's time to be really honest about parents in specifically America, because that's my lived experience. There's a lot of people that when I post content like, you need to enrich your children's minds with classes instead of items, and their knee-jerk reaction is, well, do you know how expensive that is? Do you know how expensive that is? I have 3 kids. Do you know how expensive that is? What's wrong with that statement? What's wrong with that statement? The thing I see wrong with that statement is that you chose to have 3 children and then found out that, shocker, classes cost money. Shocker, housing costs money. Shocker, healthy food costs money. How? Like, unless you are like a teen bride, where did you miss that memo? Why was that memo missed? I find it extremely irresponsible for men and women to complain about costs of children when every responsible human being knows that to raise a responsible human being is not cheap. You can't just give them an iPad and be like, have at it. Raising thoughtful, productive members of society takes effort and energy. Anyone with stressed out parents like I did, who didn't grow up rich like I did, can see the stress it takes on parents when you don't have money and resources and time. So what are the responsible adults doing today? Well, the millennials, starting with millennials, my generation, they're being really thoughtful about whether or not they should be procreating, because they know and they understand that this is a humongous responsibility. So when someone says to me, well, do you know how much it costs?
I agree with it 100%, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop being more financially stable before we have kids because, you know what I'm saying? If you struggling financially, that means your child going to suffer in some way, form, or fashion, bro. So I think we need to start making sure we more stable before we have kids. But it's a lot of different stories out here, and it's a lot of different ways to look at it, too. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of women out here that's teenagers when they're having kids, and you can't expect no teenagers to think with a developed mind because their mind ain't fully developed yet. You know what I'm saying? So they got to mature along the way. They got to learn the hard way pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's the right way to learn and nothing like that, but it's a lot of that going on. And if you want that to stop, you got to say basically don't have sex. And we all know that ain't finna happen because at a certain age, your hormones get to racing, and you're just going to do it, and certain time things happen, you know what I'm saying, because it only take one time, you know, so that's a way to look at it. That's one way to look at it or whatever, you know what I'm saying. Another way is, you know, you got women out here, you know, they might believe in a man and think that, you know what I'm saying, he going to do whatever he say because he's selling the dreams and this and that, woo woo, and she had kids by him, 1 or 2, you know, and then he split, he going on about his business, she's sitting there stuck with the kids, you know what I'm saying. Now, I will say this, if you're a single mother and you know you raising a child or kids by yourself, and you go get in another relationship and not at least demand marriage out of that man, then you foolish at that point, you know what I'm saying, because you already know how hard it is, you experiencing it already, so don't let yourself get in that type of situation all over again, so at least demand marriage, you know what I'm saying. And that's another way to look at it, you know what I'm saying? But I also think that she's telling the truth because I'm a mature man, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, and I have kids, and I see how hard it is, especially if it was like a single person doing it by themselves because, you know what I'm saying, my kids in sports or whatever, you know what I'm saying, my son, he play ball, my daughter, she play, you know what I'm saying, and sometimes them schedules run like this. Monday, you know what I'm saying, this one got practice. The next Tuesday, this one got practice. Wednesday, they might get off. You know what I'm saying? Thursday, both of them got practice. Friday, one of them got practice. Saturday, a game. Sunday, a game. Saturday might be 2 games. This and that. Ooh, I mean, that's a whole lot of extracurricular activities going on top of you have to work 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day or however long it take you to work, on top of trying to get up by yourself, going to take the kids to school, you know what I'm saying, go on whatever type of break or whatever to go pick them up, or try to pay somebody to go pick them up or whatever, however it is. That's a lot on one person, man. So, yeah, try to make sure you somewhat financially stable because it's coming, bro. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, not to mention feeding them and doing all that. It's a lot taking care of kids, man. And it seems like the older they get, the more money you going to spend. You know what I'm saying? I agree with it, but let's see what else you got to say in the video.
Well, do you know how much it costs? I want to ask them, did you not know how much it costs? Did you not know? You didn't do your research before you decided to pop out a new baby? Like, you did not do the math to understand what daycare costs could look like? And now all you're doing is complaining about it? It is what it is. You make the decisions, you live with it. And that includes becoming a parent. If you cannot, take the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Like, you should have never had kids if you literally can't fend for yourself. If you cannot afford your own self, you have no business having children. And that's the hard truth. Nobody wants to say out loud, because this country is like all about, the nuclear family. You can't have a nuclear family when you have no jobs.
And she right again, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, like at the end, ain't no sense of complaining. Which me personally, I don't believe a man should be complaining. No way, because at the end of the day, that's what we put on this earth for, you know what I'm saying, to make sure everybody around us straight. You pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So I don't believe a man should complain when he got a family that he got to take care of. Or if it's just him by himself, if the mama gone or she a deadbeat mother or whatever, and he got to take care of kids by himself, man, I don't believe a man should be complaining about that, man. You do what you got to do. That's the only way, you know what I'm saying, to be looked at as a man, you know what I'm saying? We don't cry about it, you know what I'm saying? We stand up and do what we got to do. So, yeah, she right on that too, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, ain't no point in complaining about that. But, that's more of a woman thing, women be complaining because I do get it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? I just gave you kind of a rough draft scheduler, you know what I'm saying, how mine go, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other people out there, they schedules running the same, bro. And it's like, once you had kids, your lifestyle being revolved around them so much, you know what I'm saying? So, and if you want that freedom, that extra time or whatever, like if you ain't start taking trips and going on vacation and really enjoying life already, man, or whatever, making sure you successful, or somewhat successful, because it ain't really necessarily a right time to have kids and nothing like that. You can't really say, because it's another flip side to it all too. You could be like, I could be right now making 100 bands, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like I'm stable enough to create a family, and I go on off, I have me a wife and kids or whatever, and then boom, I lose my job 2-3 years later, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? You still in that same situation, bro, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it ain't never really a right time on it. It's just that if we somewhat stable, then we know we a little bit prepared, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what the future finna bring, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you could lose your job tomorrow, and then guess what? Everything you didn't work for and all that is gone. Now you back in the same situation, struggling with kids, you know what I'm saying? And that's the other side to what she's saying. She's saying make sure you're successful, but it all could be gone tomorrow too. Because there's some people out there that happened to, you know what I'm saying? They was up this, because life go up and down. It don't stay up forever, you know what I'm saying? I don't care who you is. You might be up this year, 5 years later, you might be down, you know what I'm saying? So it's called preparation, you know what I'm saying? Like putting back, stacking, or whatever you got to do. Make sure you got money coming in a few different ways. That way you probably never go broke or whatever. Everybody ain't finna prepare themselves for that, you know what I'm saying? Average individual is going to be more of a working job thing. I'm out here working, whatever, 50, 60 hours, 40, a week, you know what I'm saying, to make sure my family's straight or whatever, and we making decent money, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really got time to invest in nothing else or nothing like that, because I got so much going on with them. So, you know what I'm saying? That's another situation where, you know what I'm saying, something that took up all your time, but that's why it's more important, because everybody ain't going to be successful. Everybody don't even care to be successful on that level. Whatever level of success you care to be on, make sure you somewhat there. That's my advice to people, is make sure you somewhat there, because once you have kids, ain't no turning back, and they're extremely expensive to take care of, bro. Y'all let us know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, bro.